Muhammad El Alim, who is the WASH technical officer and essay technical to the ED-FCT Ruwasa. Again, I thank you for staying with us. Shortly, we'll also be joining, like I had promised earlier, the FCT State Nutrition Officer, Clementina Okoro, who will be joining us via Skype in a bit. But for the moment, let's still go to the conversation around water. Coincidentally, yesterday was the Global Day to celebrate WASH, that's the water, sanitation, and hygiene. Where would you say Nigeria is in terms of hygiene, especially via water, especially now that COVID-19 is out?
Yes, thank you again for having me. Yesterday, 15th October, was dedicated to highlight the need for us to wash our hand, which is a Global Hand Washing Day. Every 15th of October has been dedicated to that. The essence is to highlight the need for us to place emphasis on washing our hands on a regular basis with soap and clean water, safe water. For us in Nigeria, if you cast your mind back, at some point Nigeria was rated #1 globally, where you have open defecation being a practice.
Exactly.
That cap was exited by India, that was at that position, and then Nigeria happens to be in that position. But the government ever since then has made significant effort, and at federal level, state level, or even at FCT.
Really?
Yes.
When you say significant level, I don't see as many mobile toilets as one should see around the cities.
Yes, like FCT Ruwasa, or FCT particularly, last year or thereabout, actually declare an emergency in curbing the issue of open defecation. And then since then, there has been a program run by the FCT Ruwasa through a PPP arrangement for public toilets across the city centers. That has been ongoing, where investors in toilet businesses have a chance to have a location where they can actually build a public toilet based on designs, and then supervised by the FCT Ruwasa, and they can run this on a commercial basis at a very
it's usually very cheap to use.
Yes. So even before then, there has been the association of public toilet users in the FCT. So we took that advantage to bring them into the cycle and have a well-organized system. Those areas where you have some of these public toilet existing but below standard, we try to see how they can come to the standard that is required. So that has been ongoing in FCT. So beside that, the FCT Ruwasa has made frantic effort to reach out to communities where awareness is created for personal hygiene and environmental hygiene, and also to practice the use of toilets in their communities.
Okay. Now that you have given us a good idea as to what the FCT is doing, especially Ruwasa directorates, to ensure the WASH is complied with, where would you say we are when it comes to, because I've seen cases where people can actually access this toilet, but they would rather go to a different open area. So it's a case of, I don't know if it is a behavioral issue.
Yes.
So what are you doing to address that part?
Yeah, like this Global Hand Washing Day that is we are marking today, because yesterday was actually the day, but we are marking it today as well, alongside with the World Food Day. So we are taking awareness and outreach to communities and schools different places to actually educate people on the need to use the toilet, and also to observe, practice the hand washing, because it's been observed that the hand washing alone with soap can actually prevent a lot of diseases that people can ingest, or that people can come down with. The issue of diarrhea, cholera, even the COVID-19 itself, and several other diseases. A whole lot of thousands of bacteria and viruses that people can actually ingest
exactly.
can actually be curbed by using clean water and soap to wash your hand. So, and the practice of open defecation is a behavioral issue, and we are making frantic effort by way of sensitization,
right,
and then for people to understand there's a need not to eat your shit.
Exactly. I wish you used a better word, but I think that is what will drive home the fact.
Yes.
Okay, now let's quickly join Clementina Okoro, the FCT State Nutrition Officer, who's joining us via Skype. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, if you can hear me, I would just like to ask, go ahead and just go and explain in your words what Nigerians should know, especially when it comes to the water they use and to make their meals.
Yes, water is very essential. It's one of the nutrients that is needed for proper maintenance of the body. So water is essential as a nutrient, and then also remember that most of the, to a large extent, we cook our food even in water, and then we need to drink water at least between 2 to 3 liters or more in a day, depending on the age group, on the age. Women, especially when they are breastfeeding, when they are pregnant, they even need more water. And then also, it's very important for Nigerians to know that when we say water is essential, leave no one behind, this does not include the children, babies 0 to 6 months, because their own water is already embedded in the breast milk. The breast milk is majorly water. So for babies that are less than 6 months, from birth to 6 months, they are expected to only take breast milk and no water added. It is from 6 months that the babies will now begin to take water in addition to complementary foods, other foods. So for babies, breast milk is a food complete with all the nutrients, including water. So no added water.
Okay, so thank you so much for giving us that very beautiful overview of what to expect. But one question I will ask is, what is done to ensure that especially food vendors, street food vendors, are really monitored and regulated? Because very often, especially how with the economic challenges, we see that Nigerian workers, employees no longer have the time to make meals at home for themselves, so they have to depend on food vendors. But we depend on nutrition officers like yourself to ensure there is hygiene in the environment these meals are made and all that. What are you doing to ensure, to give trust to people who go to restaurants, who visit street vendors, just to get that confidence that somebody has checked how they have prepared these meals and the water that was used?
Thank you very much for that question. It's a great concern, and then I will also tell you that we are very mindful of that. There's a department, a section set aside majorly to handle that. And that is looking at the food safety and hygiene. This is domiciled for us in the FCT, in the FCT Public Health Department. And then we may need to know further that there is a routine check that is conducted. We call it food handler test. And this is done every 6 months. So, and this is so that all the food handlers, either, if anywhere that, business outfit that is into food production, they undergo this test every 6 months as a routine, just to rule out, to ensure that they are fit to handle food, especially for public consumption. And if I should go,
Clementina, thank you for that. But let's come back to the studio, as we still have Mr. Mohammed right here with us, talking about this enforcement. I mean, the RUWASA has been doing a lot in ensuring that water is not a problem for FCT residents. But when you look at what's still going on right now with the structures of these buildings, especially in the rural part of the FCT, how are you going to address that problem? Are you going to move people? Because if you would have interconnection or a network of water, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I can only wonder, especially when you see how these buildings are all clogged together, it will be difficult to have any kind of access to it. Is there a long-term plan to move people and get your way, just so that people can eventually enjoy quality water?
Okay, yeah, like we all know that, I mentioned from the beginning that is the FCC, that is the Federal Capital City, that has access to the pipe-borne water from the Usuma Dam, which is the municipal supply, basically by FCT Water Board. Now, for us, we know that there's that gap, and the government recognizes that there's that gap between the city and the rural communities, where this pipe-borne water can't get to or has not gotten to. So that is the essence why the FCT RUWASA is in existence, to bridge that gap. Now, for us, we rely more, like I mentioned earlier, on the groundwater supply. Now, for communities, considering the rural setting, how it is, far different from the city centers. What we have been doing, and with our partners that have supported us in delivering water supply to some of these communities, is boreholes are sunk into these communities that are in need, and then in some areas you have it as a hand pump.
Okay, the hand
pump,
right.
Yes. Where when we consider the population of the people around that area, we realize that, okay, hand pump can actually serve.
Right.
And then also for easy maintenance of such a facility.
Where you don't need to power it.
Exactly, and
pump.
where there are no source of power, so hand pump is made available to such communities. And for the fact that this is not a very large community, and then they can actually rely on that one. Where the community is also large and the hand pump cannot serve them adequately, the motorized borehole is put in place. In most cases, because of access to electricity, we go for solar power.
Oh, there is that?
Yes, solar power, the borehole. So where solar panels and some are made to power the submersible pump, and then the water is supplied to the community, to the overhead tank, and then released to what we call a tap island. There's a tap island, usually 4, 5, 6 taps that are made away from the borehole point into closer to the communities, where the communities can actually go and turn on the water and get access to their water. For now, it's not possible to reticulate some of this water into the people's homes. So, but it is made close to their homes that access to that water is easy for them. So that is what is obtainable at the moment.
Okay, but before I let you go, let's correlate this to food. I put a question to Clementina earlier about food vendors and restaurants, just so that Nigerians can gain confidence when they approach these people, to know that, because I know that there is a regulation and somebody has checked, I can eat comfortably. Do we have it here, or we are following the something must kill a man kind of must kill a man kind of adage?
Not really. Actually, FCT has a different department that carry out a whole lot of work across this area in the food and all of this, but though they are interwoven. We have the public health officers in the FCT.
Do they still go around? I mean, I don't see it any longer. Is it me who hasn't been around enough?
No, they do. You see them in their white and green uniform. For example, Abuja Environmental Protection Board has a department for such officers that goes around facilities, goes around the restaurant, goes around some of these places where you have food vendors, where you have restaurants to check and see the level of hygiene and the level of compliance to regulation. And there are also what they call there's a food I think it's a certificate that certifies
the ratings and
exactly that certify
how well
you are complying to those. So that is still ongoing. The FCT Ruwasa also has a department that some of these public health officers are in. That is the community mobilization and hygiene department. So they also complement this work that Abuja Environmental Protection does. So, but you know, for this particular activity that we are carrying out with Clementina as a committee under food and nutrition in FCT. So it complies both the AEPB, FCT Agriculture, FCT Ruwasa, Nutrition. So we are all working together along this line to ensure that this
it's completely done. Let me go back to Clementina to quickly just tell us the activities lined up to celebrate today, World Food Day. Clementina, are you there?
Hello, I didn't get your question. Hello? Hello?
I'm just asking what activities are planned out for today. What are you planning to celebrate the day?
We have several planned activities, which includes sensitization of the populace, the FCT residents, on the world, to commemorate the World Food Day. We want to bring to their awareness the importance of proper nutrition, good diet, balanced diet, how it can be achieved, even in resource constrained situations, even with the downturn of the economy, it can still be achieved. And then we have planned to visit 2 communities. Kabusa community in Kabusa ward of Abuja Municipal Area Council, and then far away in Buhari Area Council. We'll be converging at Chudun Fulani Primary School, and then we are drawing stakeholders from the community, which include the traditional leaders, the gatekeepers, women leaders, parents, caregivers, and even children, school children. Also, who would carry our messages and then disseminate it widely. And then apart from this, we'll be having lots of media sensitization through the social media, radios, televisions, like independent radio, police radio, and many more. And we have lots of IEC materials, flyers, to this effect. We'll also be doing some videos. We'll be showing videos, the Federal Ministry of Health, supported by partners, have produced very beautiful videos using some home video actors in Nigeria, which would also use as promotional materials for the day. And then, of course, we're going to be giving refreshment, food to participants in these locations. Thank you.
El Alim, the WASH technical officer and SA technical to the ED FCT Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Directorate. Again, I thank you for being part of the program, and I'll come later. But I don't think you're giving food, which is what would have been my motivation for coming. But when there is food, please just call me. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right. So at this point, we are going to join the Investment Plus.